Hello there, YouTubers. It is I, Omki Excalibur here, with the final part of my X-Men night classes. After this, we'll be concentrating, like I said in my last video, on our last few videos, however I got them up there. We'll be starting with Apocalypse and Deadpool, and then move from there. Alright, in any case, Charles Xavier. Charles Xavier was the son of a nuclear physicist. The nuclear researcher, named Brian Xavier, and his wife Sharon. Unfortunately, Brian died in an unfortunate accident, and Sharon was consoled and later married Kurt Marco, who was the partner of her husband. Now, Kurt had a son from a previous marriage, Kane. Kane Marco. Does that ring any bells for any people? So, later on, Charles Xavier starts developing his psychic abilities, and about this time he starts noticing that his stepfather has been treating him a lot nicer than he's been treating his own son, and treating his mom a little differently. Turns out that Kurt was only after the Xavier fortune, and is trying to suck up to Charles, so that maybe Charles will stay around and give him financial aid, things like that. And while this was going on, Charles Xavier's mutant abilities of reading minds kind of is a little wonky, and he accidentally reads the mind of his stepbrother Kane, in which he realizes he sees all the pain and abuse that Kane has endured his entire life. And this enrages Charles, and he leaves. This actually, instead of bringing the two brothers closer together, it actually drove them apart. And Kane Marco became a very, very, very bitter towards his brother. And then Charles' mother dies, and after that, let's see. After Charles Xavier's mom dies, there's a horrible accident in the house, and the house blew up, and it kills Kurt. But Kurt dragged, the Kane and Charles out of the house before he died. So after that, Charles Xavier goes on to Oxford, where he meets a woman named Moira. Ringing any more bells? And they studied, then they had a lot of discussions on genetics and what, could possibly happen. They also were at school with another famous X-Men character who we'll later know as Mr. Sinister. Now, Charles and Moira fall in love, and they become engaged. And so Charles, ultimately, though, however, once he leaves Oxford, he is drafted into the Korean War. And he served in the exact same unit as his brother Kane, in which actually Xavier was the only witness to Kane finding this giant crystal, which transformed him into the Juggernaut. He also served with Shadowcat's dad, or Carmen Pride, Carmen Pride, for a few rescue missions. I think I'm going to. I'll go on a little bit longer. However, Moira breaks off the engagement with Charles, so that she can go back to her previous abusive boyfriend, Joseph McTaggart. And so Charles Xavier starts traveling the world. First stop is in Cairo, Egypt, where he runs into a little girl named Aurora, who is being forced to be a pickpocket and do crimes by a man known as the Shadow King. And this is the first evil mutant that Charles Xavier ever meets. And he has a battle with the Shadow King on the psychic plane. And what happened is Charles Xavier won, and the Shadow King mental essence, or his celestial plane form, which is his mind, is banished from his own body, so he can never return to it. Alright, I think I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to pick this up again. This is probably going to be a 4-parter, guys, so be right back.